Hey, in this episode of Voices of Hope, I've got Shawnna Rice with me. We're going to talk about winter. What happens in the winter time in Indianapolis if you're experiencing homelessness? This is obviously cold times, but it's one of the hardest times to get through when it comes to running shelters, running programs for people experiencing homelessness, being able to keep up with demand. She's been here for a lot of years, and she's got a lot of stories to tell. She's been through transitions at Wheeler Mission. She's going to talk about that, and she's going to talk about what you do if you walk up to Wheeler Mission's front doors in the wintertime. What kind of resources are available to you. So check this out. I think you're going to like this one. Okay, I'm here with Shawnna Rice with the Center for Women and Children. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We're glad to have you. So we've got a lot to talk about. I'm excited to hear just what's going on at our Center for Women and Children. I know you've been here for a number of years. So we're going to unpack your story a little bit, how you got to Wheeler Mission. But you get to see things that most people don't get to see inside of our four walls. And so you've got stories to tell. You've got experiences year round, but specifically we're going to talk about some of that in the winter time, which is a big challenge for us. So let's start with this. What is your position at Wheeler Mission? And just give me a little bit of a sense of what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
With your job.
Well, my title officially is Administrative Director.
Okay.
Essentially what that means at the Center for Women and Children is that I handle all the operation sides of things. So we have a child care on site, security and reception, housekeeping, and food service are all under my umbrella.
Okay.
It's a little bit of work.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you're at the Center for Women and Children, and so tell everybody where that is, what side of town, how close is that to downtown?
Right, so it's about 5 miles east
of
downtown.
All right.
It's right on the corner of Michigan Street and LaSalle.
Okay.
Yeah, right down the street from Tech High School. So.
All right.
Yeah, not too far from downtown.
Yeah, but you're right where the need is, right?
Absolutely.
So a lot of people walk up to your facility.
Mm-hmm.
And so inside that facility, tell me the main services that people can access at the Center for Women and Children.
Right. So we have emergency shelter services, and that is anyone coming in needing a bed right away. If we have space available, that's where they would start. And then that could move into long-term programming, and you can be up there depending on the program you choose up to a year almost.
Oh, wow.
Depending on what's going on and what the guests' goals are.
Okay, I think most people think of us as you're there for one night, right? Or they ask us, how long can you stay at Wheeler Mission? But they don't think of a year.
Right.
Yeah.
So because we have those programs, people need to try to get a little bit stable, and we are really trying to transform lives. So we try to run programs the way that we see are the best needs.
No, absolutely. So they come in for a meal, a night of shelter, right? Which is usually like the most essential need. But the great news is we don't stop there, right?
Right.
And so these programs you're talking about are life-changing, and every one of our guests has access to that, which is key, right?
Yes. All of our guests can have access to one of the programs that we have available. It's our hope that they choose them. Not everyone does, but that's okay because they can keep coming back.
They might just stay for a day and then you don't see them tomorrow, right? I mean,
right. They could leave tomorrow and then come back a year from now and think that they need change, and we're there to offer it. So
we're there every single day if they need us, right?
Absolutely.
And so on average, I mean, give us an idea on how many people in general are at the Center for Women and Children on a daily basis.
So our capacity is about 275.
Okay.
That includes our overflow beds. I think we're going to talk about that a little bit today. We have 68 emergency shelter beds.
Okay.
And from there, it just goes. We have 30 family units, so we can sleep 30 families at any given time.
Yeah.
We have, about 20 different program beds in each program, and we have 3 different long-term programs.
Okay, so a lot of options, a lot going on.
A lot of different options.
Yeah, and a scale that probably most people don't think about. And this is just on the women's side. So we have the whole men's programs, men's shelter, men's programs. So specifically for women and mothers with children inside of the Center for Women and Children. So it sounds like around 200 plus on a given night, right?
Yeah.
And that's every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
I was just looking at our daily report this morning, and we served 290 meals yesterday.
Okay.
So, and that includes even outside meals, people that come in and just want a meal.
Yeah.
We are able to provide that too.
Okay.
So,
And we charge for any of that?
We do not.
Okay. So free of charge.
Free of charge.
They stay in a bed tonight. No charge there.
Yes.
And
correct.
if they go into these programs up to a year long,
up to a year long,
no charge.
It's free of charge for them. We just want to give them the best that we have and hopefully help transform their lives.
Yeah. Well, donors in this community certainly have stepped up to make that happen.
Yeah. I'm grateful for the donors that we have.
Yeah. But capacity is always an issue. I mean, we just expanded the Center for Women and Children a couple years ago, right?
We did.
So you've been here how many years?
17.
Okay, so you've seen all this, right? So you've seen it grow.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about 17 years ago. What brought you to Wheeler Mission? We'll dig into all the nuts and bolts and what goes on today, but I want to hear kind of how you came through.
Okay. Well, I'm from Indianapolis originally, but I'd moved away to New Mexico. I was there for about 5 years. And I came back home, and I could not find a job to save my life. I don't know what was going on, but it's not usually a problem for me to find a job. I'm usually pretty easy to hire.
Okay.
I interview well, I guess.
Yeah. You got a good personality.
But I just could not find a job. And so just through prayer and fasting, I was like, okay, Lord, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I guess I'll give my time away until I can be paid for my time. And so I came to Wheeler to volunteer.
Oh, okay.
I took a tour of it was at that time called the Care Center. Took a tour and was asked what I did for a living, and I told them I was looking for a job. So before I even got a chance to complete the volunteer application, they called me in for an interview, and I had a job.
Wow.
Yeah, just waiting on God's blessings and His direction, I guess.
You started working for free, and the next thing you know, you're plugged in permanently.
Yeah,
okay, so what was your first job at Wheeler?
I was case manager for emergency shelter.
Okay.
Yep, it was right up my alley. I love serving women and pouring into them. So
this isn't even in the same facility that Wheeler Mission is currently in with women and children. It's a whole different facility, right?
Yeah, totally different facility. It was an old school building. It was coming down around us. It was leaking, but I thought when I walked up those stairs that first day, it was the most beautiful building to me ever. Yeah. Lots of God things happened in that building, and He just allowed me to see what was possible, even though the present just wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then there was the opening of the Center for Women and Children.
Yes.
When was that?
That was January 2009.
2009. Yep. Okay, and you were a part of that transition?
I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was a really snowy, misty, wet, sloppy day that day.
Okay. Yeah. Indiana winter.
Yeah. And we moved. It was not a long way to go, but it took a long time for us to get all of our furniture and all of our guests and all of that moved over that day. But the transition was great.
Okay.
We were all really excited about that move, and the guests that we brought with us were really excited about it. So it worked out really well.
Yeah, brand new tents. Well, not new. It was an old building that we took over.
Yeah.
So old Dearborn Hotel, 10-story facility, now under control of Wheeler Mission. We used to run children's programs out of that, and it was now being transitioned into women and children.
Right.
And so repurposed, but space was always an issue, right? Like it was always full.
Always. So we used to track turnaway calls. So we'd base our availability off of our emergency shelter program, and that was 22 beds strong.
Oh, wow.
So if those beds were full, then we were full. So we had, on average, almost every month, about 700 turnaway calls.
So 22 beds then. Now we have how many?
68.
Okay.
We tripled in size.
So back then, 22 beds is what we had to work with, right?
That's it.
And always full, turning people away.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget when we did the campaign to expand that, right? You were you were around for that.
Yes, I was.
So talk about that. We ran out of room. We needed to grow. So what happened then? And when was that?
So it was a really quick campaign. Actually, I didn't realize.
Well, you weren't in the fundraising at first, but you were there when it happened, right?
Yeah, and it happened really quickly. So we kept track for a few years, and then the decision was made that we needed to expand. And before I knew it, God would have it, we had raised the money that we needed for the expansion. It happened really, really quickly. I think it was like 14 months or something like that.
Yeah, fast.
Yeah.
And so you guys opened the door of, again, the old Dearborn Hotel. We're talking 10-story facility. We expanded on that site, tripled the capacity there.
We did.
And so it was around 2020, 2021, new facility, more space. What was that like?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a chance to put our thoughts into what we would like for it to look like, and some of our wish lists were granted. But it was just amazing to be able to have that extra space and house that many more people that we knew would need it, and we filled up really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in the warmer months, right?
Yeah,
Like,
even in the
okay.
warmer months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which we talked about how many beds we have, but on a daily basis, how close do we get to capacity on the warmer months when it comes to just bed space?
We are just about full almost every day.
Okay.
I'd say we're a little over 90% full. Those
Okay.
days, even in the warmer months.
All right. So individuals that come up during the warmer months, this sounds like there's still some space there to get in. And I know you work with families, and that's always a capacity issue as well. So
Yes,
what
so-
is the yeah.
Yeah, so families, we went from 9 family units to 30 family units.
Okay.
So we tripled there also. And what we also did was enabled us to provide a floor just for older teen boys, which is something that had been a barrier for families before. We weren't able to take boys over the age of 12 just because of how things were set up.
Yeah.
But because we had 3 different floors, we were able to open that up, and that allowed for moms who had a 17-year-old that needed
Yeah.
a place to stay to come in, and we didn't have to turn them away anymore, because that's a heartbreaking type of thing
Yeah.
that we had to deal with. So yeah, things are going really well. We were able to get those families in there. They were super excited to move from their unit in the annex in the old building to their new floor.
Oh, yeah.
It's just been great. It's been a real true blessing.
And I'm sure you've seen lives change there, right? So, do you have any examples, just some stories of maybe some individuals, families that have been able to use the new capacity, the new facilities when we tripled in our capacity,
Yeah.
and their lives were never the same, right? I'm sure you've seen plenty, but
I have, actually. One in particular is near and dear to me because she started out in Winter Contingency, and she was a mom. She had 5 children with her. And she started in winter. She got a bed, eventually was able to get a unit on our family units. She went into long term. We were able to help her provide stability for her family. She moved out, had done well. And then we had an opening like a year after she left
yeah,
for a GSC, a guest services coordinator.
to be on staff.
To be on staff,
Okay.
yeah. And she was hired, and she's been there 3 years now. She's done fantastic.
Awesome.
and
Family's still doing well.
Yeah, family's doing well. Her oldest child is at IU now. We've been able to celebrate all those
Oh, wow.
wins with her, and it's just been great.
Wow. You talking about this child that's going to IU? That child was staying at the Center for Women.
Yes, he was, and he was
wow.
an older boy. So we were, because of our change and because of the expansion, we were able to have her there, even with him being an older boy.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So not only stable, but now flourishing.
Yeah,
And getting an education, and obviously the future.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's been
bright.
great.
there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you touched on what I really want to dig into, which is winter contingency. We talk about warmer months. We're pretty full. We're close to capacity. We have capacity issues, even though we've expanded. Right. We've moved into
Yes.
these new facilities. We've expanded, tripled the capacity. But you talked about winter contingency. So what is winter contingency for people who have no idea?
Yeah.
And how does Wheeler play a part in that?
Okay, so what winter contingency is essentially when all other shelters are full in the city, we are able to provide overflow services, so people are able to come in and be safe from the winter elements when it gets too cold outside, so they are safe and have some stability and some warmth so they don't have to stay outside. We've done this actually since the early 90s, and it started out really, really small.
Yeah.
30 men, I think, was like the highest number way back
Yeah.
then. So not women and not children, mostly men.
Okay.
Last year, we served over 1,600 men and over 600 women. So it's grown a
Wow.
lot. But yeah, we've been able to provide warmth and security, meals,
Yeah.
and safety during those cold months where they'd otherwise be outside.
Okay. And you say they'd otherwise be outside because why? Is this does the need really of people wanting to come inside go up in the winter? When does that start? what is that? What is that jump? What does it look like?
It can be pretty significant. So last year, I think our highest number was 125 extra women on top of our 68 emergency beds. We slept 125.
So beyond capacity.
Yes, women in our overflow.
Oh my gosh.
And that was because it was cold outside. Our shelters in the city fill up really quickly.
Yeah. You say shelters in the city, so Wheeler's the largest service provider,
right.
But what are the other shelters? What are some other shelters in town?
Right, so
they're probably pretty small, right?
Yeah, Salvation Army is here for single women and families.
Yeah.
Queen of Peace is for single women. And so that's it for single women. We do have a couple of family shelters. There's Dayspring and Holy Family, and those hold families. And they actually will accept intact families. But those rooms are very, very high in demand and short.
Probably always full.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's probably not a lot of places to refer.
There's not, no.
Okay. And then when the winter numbers go up, people need to get inside. I mean, it's literally... so talk to me real quick about winter in Indiana, right? So someone's listening to this, they're maybe from somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
What is winter like in Indiana? Does it get that cold?
Winter can be brutal.
Yeah.
In Indiana.
Yeah.
You can have like a mild 60-degree day on one day, and then by the end of the week, you're at 25
Not
degrees.
predictable.
Right. Not predictable at all. Windy, snowy, icy. It could get really bitterly cold at night. So thankfully, we have IMPD, that's our police department, that goes out with their outreach teams looking for people who are outside if it gets too cold to try to get them into safety. So that would be either the Center for Women and Children or the Shelter for Men.
Yeah. Now, do you see a lot of people that are stuck outside in the winter? I mean, you talk about these unpredictable winter nights. It could be 40, 50, you know, when the sun's going down, and then overnight it gets below freezing. They're sleeping outside. I mean, that's life and death, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that could be the fact of them not waking up tomorrow, literally.
And unfortunately, that has happened. We do try to do what we can to make sure that doesn't happen. So the outreach teams in the city and the police department are really good at going and trying to find the nooks and crannies in the city, looking for people to make sure they're safe.
So they point them our direction.
They do.
Okay. And so I know the need is high, right? So we just received the numbers for this year from the point-in-time count from CHIP, and just in Marion County, there's 1,815 people that were counted as being homeless on one single night. So that's what we expect to be on a typical night, right? And that's in January when they make that count. So that's in the winter. And that number's up 7%. Now that includes men, women, and so, and I'm assuming that number's a bit low because it's hard to find people in these nooks and crannies of the city.
Right.
But they do a very consistent count every year, and we're seeing that number go up. So the demand is increasing. We've expanded our capacity, but thanks to donors, we're still at or near capacity. But in the winter, we go beyond capacity.
We do.
Right?
We go beyond capacity.
It's that important to get people in.
Absolutely.
Okay. And if we run out of space, talk to me about what we do to collaborate with other organizations in the city. Obviously, we're a part of that overall plan for the city. What's that look like?
So we have worked with CHIP in the past and the city to try to help get people inside in those really brutal times. Outreach and the Horizon House are really good at communicating what they're able to do and finding people. And the city's been great with trying to help get us get extra rooms for people if it gets too cold outside.
Okay. So they're finding space. And
they are.
And so I think what I love about Indianapolis, there's no city shelter in Indianapolis.
Right.
I mean, that's rare compared to other cities across the country.
Cities our size normally have a city-run shelter.
They do. And so we don't have that. And so in order for these people to be cared for, again, they're beyond our bed capacity, we need to find space for them. The city, the private organizations in the city, the nonprofits that are faith-based or not, are stepping up to make sure that there's space for these people in the winter. Right. But that takes a lot of people planning together, right?
Lots of collaboration, So we work really well together. We meet regularly to address the needs that are out there, pulling resources to be sure that we can take care of as many people as we can.
Okay, so when does Winter Contingency start and when does it end?
So this year, winter is starting December 1st.
Okay.
And it will end March 31st.
Okay.
Yeah, in times past, it's been a little bit different of a time frame, but just because of those resources and pulling collaborations, the decision was made to push the opening day to December 1st, and we will be ready.
Okay. And so that is when it's cold, right? That's why
Yes.
those dates are
Yes.
chosen, right? Because
Right.
that's when our numbers go up and we end up beyond capacity.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Right.
And so during those months, talk to me about procedure. So someone, again, you're in the neighborhood where people are walking up to your front
Yeah.
door.
Yes.
They're not being dropped off. Sometimes I'm sure they are, but
Sometimes, but most times they know where we are and they know where to come to get the safety that they need, and so
Yeah.
they come through the doors. Yeah.
okay. So it's January 15th.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're pretending it's in the middle of the winter. Someone comes up to the front door. What do they experience in the wintertime?
Right. So our reception desk will welcome them in.
Yep.
If they have extra baggage and things like that they need to take care of to put in storage, we'll get them set there. We'll make sure that they have a warm meal.
Yeah.
We serve warm meals and make sure that they have the blankets and things they need to hunker down in our day room
Okay.
for the night and for as
So
long
we get
as they
them in.
need to. We get them in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no bed. Maybe
No,
in this,
there may not be a bed, but we will make sure that
Get 'em inside.
Yeah, we get them inside,
and they sleep where?
They sleep in our day room.
Okay.
And so we have mats that
Okay.
we can offer them. We have extra blankets and sometimes even pillows.
Okay.
That we're able to offer them, and just to be sure that they're in and they're safe.
Safe.
And so we get them the warm meal. We give them snacks and things like that. So
Yeah. So do they get on a waiting list for a bed, or I assume those are in hot demand,
Yeah.
right? And first come, first serve. Is that how it
They
works?
are.
Okay.
That is how it works. Usually, if someone is on mat in the day room because of winter contingency and an emergency bed opens up because they've either found housing or they've moved in with a relative or they've gone to our long-term programming, that bed becomes empty and we can offer a bed to someone in our overflow
Okay.
in winter contingency. So we really try hard to get as many people into beds from winter contingency as possible.
Okay. So do we take into account their physical condition in that situation? I
We
mean,
do.
this could be an elderly person
Yes.
that can't lay on a mat. I mean,
Yeah.
I know the goal is to keep these people safe and get out of the elements, right? But what kind of thought process is happening there? What procedures are done in those
Right.
situations?
Good question. So we do sometimes have people who are not necessarily able to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
We do lots of troubleshooting and limited case management just to make sure we can get them placed somewhere
Yeah.
that they are able to be taken care of, and that they're safe too. Yeah.
And you're talking hundreds of people a night coming in,
Absolutely.
and these situations are never easy,
Never.
right? And none of them are in a healthy condition because of what they're going through throughout the
Right.
day, and probably for weeks and months on end.
Yeah.
And so you guys are having to make these difficult decisions on a daily basis, right?
We do. Yeah.
But the goal is to find somewhere safe for those people to get inside.
Yes,
And
yes.
we're working either with our resources or resources in the city.
Yes.
to
Lots
make
of
that.
phone calls to try to make it happen so they're okay.
Good. Well, that's a lot of work. And we're talking about a facility that's already at or near capacity every night before winter starts.
Right.
So winter hits, all these people are inside. What's the environment like on a day-to-day basis inside that facility?
It's chaotic.
Is it? Yeah.
It is, but it's good. It's a good
People
chaos.
sleeping on the floor.
Yeah,
I mean,
Extra 7,500 people in a building. It can be a little bit chaotic, but during that time of year, we hire more staff people
Yeah.
to help with that additional number.
Okay.
And everyone pitches
part-time,
in.
part-time,
Part-time,
okay.
full-time. It's like more seasonal work.
Okay.
Everyone pitches in to make sure that things are taken care of. So if we need an extra person to help do intakes and get people settled, then someone will pitch in.
Okay.
It's nothing at all before for me to work a third shift because
Yeah.
we didn't have a third shift
So
person.
say people are
on
wearing
site.
multiple hats.
Oh yeah,
right.
for
So you
sure.
have more staff, but you have people that are doing more
Yeah,
jobs.
absolutely.
What about volunteers? Are we bringing in more volunteers to help? Is
Yeah.
that even helpful? Or,
Yeah,
okay.
it's absolutely helpful.
Okay.
So we've used volunteers in the past for intake purposes. We've also had groups come in and they will go and just fellowship with the ladies. We'll have times where they would do a Bible study or a game night or just something to help let the
Just make it
ladies
normal,
feel
right?
seen,
Yeah.
and heard, and just know that people see them and appreciate their
Okay.
presence. Yeah.
Okay. And how do people volunteer?
So they can just look on the website, Wheeler Mission's website,
Okay.
see what opportunities are there and get plugged in.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to get inside and make a difference, right?
Absolutely.
And so,
Yeah.
so you mentioned chaotic. I know it feels chaotic, but you guys do an incredible job to make sure that there's order, it's safe, we have security there.
We definitely have a system
Yeah.
in place, and it's a tried and true one.
But man,
we
the staff
yeah
go through it, right?
The staff does go through it, but we keep coming back. It's because we love what we do. No one is there by accident. We all love what we're able to do and who we're able to do it with, and so it doesn't necessarily always feel like work. In the days that it does feel like work, and you go home and you rest and you come back, and you do it again.
And at the end of winter, you probably take you exhale a little
big,
bit, right?
Deep breath after,
But the work continues.
Absolutely.
Because you're still talking at capacity almost every night.
Yeah.
We just don't have all the people on the floor. So, so talk to me about, you mentioned all these programs we have and the life change that goes on in these programs. You mentioned a story of someone who came in the winter and ended up going through programs, right, eventually.
Right.
And so that is the lifeblood of Wheeler, is the life transformation that we can offer when we give time, for these people, and the professional services around them over that period of time to get out of what they're in and enjoy lasting success. So how does the increased numbers in the winter, you mentioned it feels chaotic, but how does that impact our programs? Are we able to operate normally, or is it more difficult? Or
Good question. We are actually still able to operate normally.
Okay.
Because we have a different staff for our overflow service, Winter Contingency. Our program staff is still in place, and we are still ministering and doing the work that God's got us doing there.
Yeah. Okay. So these same individuals are coming in and they have access to these programs.
Yes.
And you have intake managers to help them get to navigate that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So even more opportunities for people to get their lives changed.
We do. We try to do what we can.
Still not easy, right? On staff.
Absolutely
so I would assume we have turnover in the winter when it comes to staff, right? It's probably not for everybody. Is that?
Yeah, we have some turnover, but this past year, I've noticed that we had less turnover.
Okay.
We have some staff that started in winter and absolutely fell in love with the Winter Contingency program. They're still employed now.
Yeah.
And they are gearing up to be on winter staff. When winter starts, because they just loved it that much. They loved serving the women in that capacity that much, and so we've kept them, and they love working there, and they're going to go right back into the chaotic Winter Contingency.
Yeah, if you love it then,
to love some more.
Awesome. Okay, good. So there's obviously some job opportunities in the winter. If you'd like to work at Wheeler Mission, I'm sure we're looking for staff in the winter time.
We are. Yep.
So where do people go to look for job opportunities?
WheelerMission.org.
There you go. All right. So you can volunteer. You can maybe start like you did to volunteer and then end up on staff.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's some job opportunities that you're interested in right now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we're talking mainly about the women's programs, but parallel with you guys is our men's shelter for men as well, which are going through the same situations, different but the same, right? I mean, obviously, dealing with working with men is different than working with women. You have children, like you mentioned, in your facility as well, but winter contingency is happening on the men's side too.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people are being impacted throughout this time. So what are some? I know you have a lot of people coming through our facilities. What are some of the resources that we go through quickly? What can people think to donate to help us get through these times? What do we need?
Great question. So we serve lots of sack lunches.
Sack lunches.
So that's a huge need there.
Yeah, quick and easy.
Blankets, pillows.
What size blankets?
Twin to king.
Okay.
Just whatever. Yeah. So blankets, things like that. Jogging suits, socks are a huge thing.
What's a jogging suit?
Jogging suits,
Tell me about
like
this.
Sweatsuits. Like,
okay, I guess like sweatpants, sweatshirt. Okay, all right.
Sweatpants, yeah.
All right. I'm on the same page with you.
Yeah. So things like that to help us keep the guests warm if they come in with nothing, and that happens a lot. So whatever we can get to give them to make sure that they're warm and make sure they have clothes.
What about toiletry items?
Toiletry items for sure. So soap, shampoo, conditioner, things like that. Huge need.
Yeah, I can imagine. I have a family of 5 at home, right? And we go through that stuff quickly, right?
Yes.
People go through all those things you mentioned. We're talking about in winter, close to 1,000 people a night when it comes to all of our facilities.
Yes.
So that's a lot.
It's a lot.
honestly, we will not go through enough underwear if you want to donate underwear, right?
Absolutely.
So
yes.
I would assume most of these people are coming with the clothes on their back, or
Yeah, some of them only have the clothes on their back, and some of them don't have a lot of clothes on their back or shoes. We've had women specifically that come in and they don't have shoes, or they don't have shoes that fit, and so their foot is hanging off and their feet
Yeah.
are wet or
they
frosted.
just need all fresh new
Yeah,
things, right? Like,
absolutely.
That's a great way to help someone right in that
Yeah.
moment. Is get them some food in their belly, give them a safe place to
Yes.
sleep, but give them some fresh clothes,
Right, and help them get their dignity.
and that's where people donate those items, and we
Yeah.
can give those directly to them. So
Yes.
so go to wheelermission.org.
Wheelermission.org.
Right, and you mentioned some of the organizations we collaborate with. I'm sure they need resources as well, and so some of the ones you mentioned, I would certainly recommend people check those out too.
Absolutely.
I mean, they need help
yeah,
too. So
they do need help.
yeah. Okay, so and what else? What else is going on in the winter that you'd love for people to hear about?
Other good things are happening
Yeah.
in winter. We have a Christmas Santa shop every year.
Oh wow.
And if you're there for winter, you actually are able to, if you have a family, you're able to shop at our in our Santa shop. It's
Oh, wow.
not really shopping. You just can go in there and choose some items for your children, so they have things for winter.
Yeah.
For Christmas, I'm sorry.
Just to make it normal, right?
Yeah.
For them, right? Like
yeah.
they can get some
just a
things.
little normalcy
Yeah.
in the midst of the chaos.
Yeah. So Christmas is
Yeah.
that. Imagine. I mean, people don't think about that, but like, wake up Christmas morning.
Yeah.
You're in a shelter, right? That's your childhood experience for people who are at our
Yeah.
shelters, right? Like you and I don't know what your childhood was like, but those aren't the memories I have as a kid,
no,
right?
I ran
But-
to a Christmas tree full of toys in
Yeah.
the morning. Yeah, when I was a child. So to be able to help provide those things for families and for the women there, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And every year, I feel like there's more blessing in it. But those toys and gifts that come in for the women and children, it's a really huge help to get those donations, and they're truly a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So people can donate those Christmas items, right? I assume
Yes.
on wheelermission.org we have that. Yeah.
New unwrapped toys, wheelermission.org.
We need it, right?
Yes.
It's great. I think our kids are always asking for stuff, and let's start there first, right? Let's go give some toys
Yeah.
away before we go take care of our
Yes.
needs, right? You mentioned volunteering. You mentioned donating toiletries, clothing, food, all that stuff. People definitely can get plugged into this cause.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And we
Yeah.
definitely need the help. So any time, any talent, any treasure that people
Yeah.
are able to offer is absolutely appreciated.
Yeah, 1,815 people. Those are lives. Those are stories. Those are people who were once kids. Those are people who were once in high school. We meet them in their moment, right? That
Right.
they are in the greatest need probably in
Yeah.
their life. But people can do something about it. Plug in. And if you have resources, if you'd like to collaborate, if you have access to facilities that can help, right? In the winter, we're looking for that.
Right. Yep. Churches, bring your church group
Yeah.
and serve a meal.
Yeah.
Or do a Bible study or play a game.
And we've had churches in years
Yeah.
past that have opened up their facility to put cots and mats in their gym, right? Like
yes, we've done that.
people that have resources, can step up. We'll find a way to work together.
Absolutely.
And so it's not easy to make sure these people are cared for, but the city is stepping up.
Yes.
But that doesn't happen unless the people that are running those organizations step up, right?
That's right.
So, so one of the things that we talked about that people can do is just pray for Wheeler Mission. We are a Christ-centered organization.
Yes.
We welcome prayer. Right.
We
and
do.
so we love that. And I'm sure that's happening inside your walls. Staff, volunteers, guests are praying for lots of things. Tell me some prayer requests that we have over the winter. Maybe just a few. Like what could people be praying about for you guys?
Because we have extra people in the
Yeah.
building, so the prayer for just protection and peace in the building is always huge. Prayers for the food that we need to make sure that we can feed everyone and everyone has a full belly. Prayers for just the strength and the rest that staff need to continue to serve in the way that we should for all the extra people that are coming in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that doesn't go unheard.
Yeah.
God hears those prayers.
God does hear
God
our
has a heart
prayers.
for people that are poor, right? Who are in great need. He hears their cry and he hears the prayers.
He sees them. He sees us all, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've all been in situations where we needed people to help us.
Absolutely.
So nobody is too far removed from needing to ask for help, right?
Right.
So we should never look down on people who come through our front doors. We're there for them, right? And
Right.
we're there to walk alongside
Right.
of them.
You
So,
never know. You never know where they've come
You don't
from
know.
or where we might end up.
Yeah.
Right. It's all God's grace.
Well, Shawnna, I appreciate your work. I know years of that, and you've been through
Yeah.
seasons of winters, many,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm assuming many more in your future, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah. I don't think I'm going
yeah.
anywhere.
Well, you're a great part of this ministry.
Thank you.
Anything else? Last thoughts before we close out?
I'm just so appreciative of what we get to do, what I get to do when I can pour into women and just show the love of Christ. I'm so appreciative of all those who want to give their time and come and volunteer and make sure that our guests are seen and loved. And I'm appreciative of the donations that come through to help serve those that we're serving. So I'm just grateful. I love my job. I love what I get to do and who I get to do it with. It doesn't always feel like work, and I love that the most. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you're out there and you've been a part of helping Wheeler get through these times, man, you're impacting lives, right? Like there are stories that you shared of people that's, again, they've come through our shelters in the greatest hardest time in their life, and now they're flourishing.
Yeah.
And if you've been a part of this at all, you've helped those people to have lasting success in Christ. And so there's many more people on the way, and we're going to be ready for them, right?
We will be ready for them.
All right. Well, thanks, Shawnna. Appreciate
Thank
your time.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian.
Hey, if this podcast episode spoke to you, we'd love for you to dig a little bit deeper. Check out some of our other podcast episodes. We're going to tell lots of great stories that are going to really bless you. You're going to hear more about experiences that people experiencing homelessness have. What is that like for them, right? You're going to hear more about what goes on inside of Wheeler Mission's walls. You're going to hear stories from some of our friends in the community. But check those out. But you can also get plugged in right here at Wheeler Mission. We'd love for you to volunteer. Sometimes that can be just serving a meal, but there's lots of great ways to come and get plugged in here as a volunteer. Also, if you know somebody that needs help, Wheeler Mission is a resource for you. And so point them our direction. You can get all those phone numbers and websites to get plugged in at wheelermission.org. Again, send people our way who need help or get plugged in yourself. But again, we thank you for listening.